Hello and welcome inside a brand new segment of Education Matters. My name is Donna Moore Westby, your host of Education Matters, where we're connecting you to the world of education one step at a time. Do you know the ins and outs of Social Security? It's a good question, isn't it? It doesn't matter what age you are, it doesn't matter whether you're male or female, you will definitely not want to miss the information my guest, Mr. Tony Williams, will share with you today. The ins and outs of Social Security Administration. Who will get your benefits should you pass away? What benefits could you possibly receive? All right? That's what we'll talk about here inside of the broadcast. First, though, we'd like to thank the sponsors of Education Matters. We could not do it without you. It certainly takes money to bring this broadcast and others on ASTV. And we would like to thank the Education Matters sponsors. And they are Martial Arts Academy under the direction of Mr. Andrew Blocker. Thank you so much for working with our youth and families. The Barner Group, Educational Associates, providing after-school tutoring and other educational services throughout the year. Dr. Margot Muniz with Magnolia Medical Center. Thanks so much for providing your support, not only to Education Matters, but to me personally. Thank you. Also, the Will Lou Gray Opportunity School out of West Columbia. Got a chance to visit with you on last week at the school board conference, and very thankful that you also are helping to save the lives of many of our youth in South Carolina. And then, of course, Westby's Products and Services, creator of Dawn Seasoning Delight, all-purpose seasoning and marinade. In case you did not know, Don Westby, the creator, is my husband, and I'm so thankful for his support as well. And then finally, a new sponsor to Education Matters, and that is Bryant Insurance Agency. Miss Takia Dorn and her father, Mr. John Bryant, they are all state representatives, and they are who I am covered with. I'm in good hands with the Bryant Insurance Agency. It is our prayer that you will not just listen to me thank them every week, but that you will support those who support us. All right? Okay, it's now time for the Education Matters tip of the week. Excuse me, I always forget this. I've got one little reminder for you, parents. On March the 2nd, which is Friday, March 2nd, there will be no school in Aiken County. There will be District in Service Day, okay? So we just wanted to remind you about that so that, especially if you have younger children, you can make preparations in case you have to work, all right? Again, no school Friday, March the 2nd in Aiken County. Okay, now it's tip of the week time inside of Education Matters. Every week we give you a brand new tip, and here is this week's. Breakfast is a very important meal of the day. Make sure you and your child have a healthy and nutritious breakfast without a lot of sugar, okay? I know sugar tastes good, but it will give you a quick boost and then a sudden energy crash. So be careful of that. I had Raisin Bran this morning. It was great, but then I messed it up with a honey bun for lunch. So don't follow my example today, okay? Make sure you have a great breakfast. Let it be healthy. Take the time to prepare so that your child and you can have a great start of the day, okay? That is our tip of the week. That sound means it's Word of the Week time. Inside of Education Matters every week. Every week we give you a brand new word of the week. Sometimes I wonder, my gosh, there's so many words in the dictionary. I find a new one every day and I love it. This week's word of the week is dissension. Dissension. And it is spelled D-I-S-S-E-N-S-I-O-N. And dissension is a noun. And it means difference of opinion or disagreement. Simply put, difference of opinion or disagreement. And I'll use dissension in a sentence for you. Dissension among people only becomes a bad thing when people do not respect one another and forget everyone is entitled to an opinion. All right? That is this week's word of the week, dissension. Use it. Teach it to your young people. Place that word on the refrigerator again so that we can all learn and grow together. I say that every week. I'm known around town as the word of the week lady, and that makes me feel really good, but it makes me feel even better to know that you're using those words and preparing those young people for their standardized exams, all right? That's a big part of why we do that word of the week. For our tip of the week and our word of the week, go to my website, edmat.com, and you'll see all of the tips and the words of the week, okay? Well, after a few words from all of our wonderful sponsors, we'll come back and talk with our guest, Mr. Tony Williams. Make sure you have your paper and pencil. You'll need to be ready for the information he has to share. We'll be right back.
Tired of hearing automated answering services when you have questions about auto, home, renters, motorcycle, or life insurance? Call the Bryant Insurance Agency, where you will always receive a representative ready to answer your questions and provide friendly customer service just for you. Call today for a quick quote at 803-642-8505 or visit us at 909 Daugherty Road in Aiken. Takia and her staff are ready to serve you.
The Will Gray Opportunity School has been serving the beautiful Midlands of South Carolina since 1921. Our mission has evolved over the years, and we now specialize in helping young people move past their obstacles in order to achieve success. We give students opportunities to lead, to develop social skills, to become active in their communities, and to taste success. Don't settle for less than the absolute best for your life. Contact us today to take the next step in your journey toward success.
Need positive and constructive after-school activities for your children? Call the Martial Arts Academy in Aiken under the direction of International Olympic trainer Andrew Blocker. The Martial Arts Academy offers an award-winning approach to teaching Taekwondo. It's an effective approach to instilling discipline. The Martial Arts Academy also offers self-defense and fitness classes for all ages. Enroll today in this affordable program by calling 803-642-5723 or visit the studio at 2398 Whiskey Road in Aiken. The Martial Arts Academy, positively changing the lives of youth and adults.
When it comes to grilling, I'm the man. Using Dawn Seasoning Delight, I'm the grill master.
My seasoning is available at Kroger, Bi-Lo, Food Line, Reeds, and Harvest. Look for it on display in the meat department. Also visit seasoningdelight.com for information and recipes. Dawn Seasoning Delight. It's so good.
Dawn Seasoning Delight is so good.
Welcome back inside of the broadcast. If you're just tuning in with us today, my name is Donna Moore Westby, host of Education Matters, and today we're talking about what everyone should know about Social Security. Very important topic, certainly one that's on the minds of many people these days and times, so we thought it'd be very appropriate to share with you information you need to know. And helping us with this topic today is Mr. Tony Williams, who is the Public Affairs Specialist for the Social Security Administration Office. Welcome to Education Matters.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yes, yes. Well, we are in for a treat. Mr. Williams has lots of great information for us, and he is going to actually lead this train today. He has prepared a very intensive and comprehensive presentation, so he's going to walk us through all of that information. First of all, tell us, what is your role as the Public Affairs Specialist for Social Security Administration, and why is it important for us?
Sure. As my role as a Public Affairs Specialist, my main goal is to go out and educate the public on what they need to know about Social Security. There's many members of the public that don't understand what service we offer, and so hopefully we'll be able to improve that educational need for the public.
That's excellent, and sometimes people don't even know that they need to know. You know, when
Right.
you don't know something, you just go along every day, and unless something just happens to trigger you or you hear something by word of mouth,
Right.
you can really miss out.
That's
And
correct.
that's why today's topic is so important, and I'm thankful that you're here today to share with us those things we definitely need to know. So let's go ahead and get started.
Sure.
All right? And you're going to lead us through today's topic with slides, okay?
Social Security is a foundation for planning for your future, and so it's extremely important that we understand that Social Security is not meant to be your only source of income. So when you're planning for your retirement, you really need to have pensions, savings, and other type of investments in order to live comfortably throughout your retirement years. Now, how do you qualify for retirement benefits? Well, one of the ways in which or the main way in which you have to qualify is by earning credits. And you earn credits by whenever you earn $1,130 in earnings. You can earn a maximum of 4 credits per year. So basically, you need to earn 40 credits in order to apply for your retirement benefit. And so that equals out only 10 years of earnings.
So are you saying then, Mr. Williams, that if an individual in any particular year does not earn enough money according to that particular qualification, then they're not earning they could potentially not earn a credit for that year?
That's correct.
Okay.
You have to have 40 credits in order to apply for your retirement.
Okay.
And that's basically 10 years of earnings.
Okay.
But if you have less than that, then we're not able, it doesn't make you eligible for the benefit.
The whole point of Social Security, why was it created in the first place?
Well, Social Security is a safety net for Americans.
Okay.
Back in the Depression days, when everyone lost their jobs, people didn't have retirement income, and so we had a high poverty level. So Social Security has really become a great safety net for 50 million or so Americans.
Okay, all right. And I'm sure there is because I keep up with the news and what's going on, there is definitely some dissension, to use my word of the week,
That's correct.
From a political standpoint
Correct.
on whether or not programs like Social Security should continue.
Correct.
And, I guess just depending on who you are and what other sources of income, going back to, if you will, go back to that first slide, because I believe that, if you have other sources of income, then it's probably going to sway whether or not you think Social Security should be a benefit for others.
Correct. And unfortunately, many Americans have not planned the way that they need to. And so we have a large population of people that only have Social Security. And so part of my job is to go out and really encourage folks to have other types of income, because it's extremely important during your years of retirement.
Okay, all right, let's continue.
Now, the earliest you can file for your retirement is at age 62, and filing at age 62 means you will have a lower benefit amount. You also can file at your full retirement age, meaning that you can receive your full amount, and you can also wait until you're at the age of 70. And at that point, you earn what we call delayed retirement credit. And that's about 7 to 8% per year in additional benefits. So that's pretty good investment if you can wait that long. Most people have to make decisions on if they can wait up to the age of 70.
Well, my husband and I have a thought on that.
Okay.
We have thoughts on a lot of things, and that is he's going to be turning 50 this year.
Okay.
I have a few more years to go. But our thought on it, and everybody has to weigh their own situation,
Right,
is
that's correct.
We're not guaranteed that when we get to 62 or 65 or whatever, that we'll have the health and strength that we have right now.
Correct.
So are those the kinds of things that people have to consider? You can get it early. At age 52, it certainly won't be the full amount, but what types of considerations should people have in their mind to help them determine whether or not to wait till the full so they receive their full benefit or get it a little earlier?
Right, that is a major decision for a lot of people, because the earliest they can file is 62. So they have to take into account their health situation. They have to take into account pensions and savings that they have put away for retirement.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of different things that they really do have to take into account. And majority of folks do tend to file early, but lately we've been seeing more and more people deciding to wait because they want to continue to work.
Okay.
And so that's another option that we'll talk about a little later.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Now, full retirement age, and that's something we had mentioned a little bit earlier. Back in 1983, Congress passed an amendment that increased the full retirement age. So if you were born 1937 or earlier, then your full retirement age would be 65. If you were born between 1943 and 1954, which are kind of those baby boom years, your full retirement age is 66. And if you were born 1960 or later, your full retirement age is 67.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so although I'm considered a baby in one sense, in the other sense, I'm going to have to wait forever before I get full retirement because I was born in 69.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, but again, the thing to remember, you still can file as early as age 62.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Tony. Okay.
That's extremely important.
All right.
Now, Social Security is determined, or your benefit amount is determined based on your earnings. And so, to simplify this, generally we take a look at your last 40 years of earnings, and we'll drop your lowest 5 years and apply your highest 35 years towards the computation.
Okay.
So, for instance, if you only work 10 years, then that means that 25 years of zeros would go into that computation. So that's why it's extremely important that you work when it comes to Social Security, because it matters towards your benefit amount.
Okay, all right. So bottom line, you don't be expecting Social Security if you haven't put something into it. You
Correct.
can't get out of it what you don't put in.
That's absolutely correct.
Okay, all right. I'm the interpreter for today. All right.
Now, in addition to receiving your retirement benefit, your children and spouse can also apply for benefits on your record. So as a child, you must not be married and under the age of 18 in order to receive a benefit off of a worker's record.
Okay.
Or be not married and disabled before age 22.
Okay.
Now,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, as a spouse, you can file as early as age 62, or you can file at any age if you're caring for a child under the age of 16. And this is all about filing on a retired person's record if you meet those requirements.
Okay, let's keep this slide here as I go through this question. So, who else can get the benefit? Is this only if you, the person who put in to the Social Security system, has passed away? Is that how they then get those benefits?
No, this is actually a live, what we call a live case.
Oh.
So for instance, if your husband retired, and if you're eligible at the age of 62, then there's a chance that you may be able to file on his record, as well as if you have young children under the age of 18, then they're eligible for benefits on his record as well.
Okay. Now, is there basically, so I have this pool of money, a pot of money, and so are you saying that if I were alive and I'm drawing off of that pot, and my spouse and according to the qualifications, children draw as well, if those individuals also draw in addition to me, then that can deplete the funds quicker than if it were just me?
No.
No, okay.
And how it works, it doesn't affect your benefit amount at all.
Okay.
And so you won't see any reductions towards your benefit amount.
Okay.
We do have something called a family maximum, and so each worker earns that based on their earnings.
Okay.
And so if there are a number of children involved, then we divide that family maximum between the kids and the spouse.
Okay.
But it does not affect your record at all as a wage earner.
All right, very good. I want to let you know, viewers, if you have any questions as Mr. Williams is going through today's presentation, feel free to give us a call right here in the studio on 803-644-2357. Or, as you can see, I have my BlackBerry here. You can even text in a question to 803-507-6793. All right, Mr. Williams, please continue.
Sure. Now, the next slide talks about that the ex-spouse as well can also be eligible for benefits off of the worker's record. And so we're talking about a divorcee. So you have to have been married for at least 10 years. The ex-spouse must be 62 or older. Now, the benefit does not affect the worker's amount, the same situation we were talking about earlier. Now, one interesting aspect of this, if you are divorced and the worker has not filed for benefits, you still can file for benefits on their record as long as you were divorced for at least 2 years.
Okay.
And so if you're divorced for 2 years and you both are 62, then you can go ahead and file on that worker's record and receive benefits without the worker having applied.
Okay. I believe there was, in the information you sent me as we were talking about this topic, am I correct in the statistics that of the people drawing Social Security, 61% of that are female? Is that correct?
That is correct.
And why is that?
Well, we tend to see that females are more caregivers, so so they're in and out of the workforce.
Okay.
And so they'll spend a lot of time caring for their children, caring for their parents, or even their spouse.
Okay.
And so that leads them to have less work years.
All right.
And so in that situation, a lot of times their benefit is lower. But with these extra programs that we have, such as spousal benefits, survivor benefits, women are able to kind of catch up in a sense.
Okay.
And so.
And receiving their own benefits.
Correct. And that is another aspect of it. They can also file on their own record if they meet those requirements we talked about earlier, having the credits.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Moving right along.
Now, the computation for spouse's benefit, and a spouse can get up to 50% of a worker's unreduced benefit. And so I like to use kind of an illustration. Let's say Mr. Jones goes into the Social Security office and applies for his benefit, and he's going to earn $1,000. Well, Ms. Jones goes to the office with him, and she decides to apply for her benefit as well. But Ms. Jones has been in and out of the household, out of the workforce, I'm sorry, and so she only has 10 years worth of earnings. And so her benefit amount is only going to be $200. Now, with that situation, we will take a claim for Ms. Jones for her $200, but then we would turn around and also take a claim for Ms. Jones for a spousal benefit, and bringing her amount up to 50% of Mr. Jones. So her amount would be $500 a month, $200 on her record, and then $300 on a spousal record filing off of Mr. Jones' record.
Oh my gosh, just off of this one little caveat, who in the world came up with that? I can imagine the administration of this process is just unbelievable.
It is. It can be very confusing, especially for the public. So, and so of course that's why we're out trying to do this. So,
and why education matters. This whole
right.
process. Okay. All right. I'm trying to wrap my brain around that last example. If you still need some clarification out there, feel free to give us a call 644-2357 or text us a question or comment on 507-6793. All right.
Now, one of the great tools that we do offer is the Retirement Estimator. And you can get to this program by going to www.socialsecurity.gov.
Okay.
What's great about the Retirement Estimator, it'll definitely give you an opportunity to see what type of benefits you may be able to receive based on your age and your earnings.
That's good.
And so we definitely recommend using that program.
Now, with this estimator, do you have to set up an account or have any type of PIN number in order to get your specific information accessed?
No, really all you'll need to do is once you go online, it'll ask you for your name, social security number, it'll ask you for some other identifying information. And what's really interesting about the system, it'll pull in your earnings record.
Okay.
And so when you go in and do those what-if type scenarios, it'll give you really good estimates on what your benefit may be.
That's
So,
excellent. Also want to remind you viewers that the website for today's information is located on my website, edmat.com. So if you already have my website bookmarked or as one of your favorites, I hope, just click on that and you should see under this week's resources, Social Security .gov. All right. If it's not there, we'll give that address at the end of the broadcast. Okay. All right. I like that estimator. It's
all
good.
right, yeah, it is great. It's great. It's a great tool. The next thing we want to talk about, we get this a lot with retirees, is can you work and still receive benefits?
Good question.
And so another illustration I like to use, let's say Mr. Jones again comes in and files for his benefits at the age of 62.
Let's use Miss Wesby.
Okay, we'll use Miss Wesby. We'll go with Mr. Wesby, or we'll use Miss Wesby. Miss
Okay,
Wesby's
all
fine.
right.
We'll go with Miss Wesby. Miss Wesby comes in and files for her benefit at the age of 62, and she decides that she wants to continue to work.
Okay. Miss
Well-
Wesby probably won't, but we'll use that. We'll.
But if she decides to work, she's allowed to earn $14,680 a year without any penalties. But if she earns over that amount, then we will reduce her benefit $1 for every 2 that she's over. Now, once Miss Wesby reached the year in which she's at her full retirement age, and I think that's 66 for you, or
67.
67. So in that year, she'll be allowed to earn $38,880 a year without any penalties. But if she earns over that amount, her benefit may be reduced $1 for every 3 that she's over.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, and we're going to have to pause to hear from our sponsors in just a moment, this is one area of dissension that I've witnessed from particularly senior citizens or even individuals who are widows. You know, that there's only a certain amount of money they get from Social Security, and so if they work to try to keep up with today's economy and inflation, etc., then it could almost seem like a takeaway. We'll address that when we come back. We'll
Absolutely.
be right back after a few words from our sponsors. Don't change that dial.
I lead a busy life, but I still have to make sure my family eats right. And everybody loves Dawn's Seasoning Delight. I use Dawn's on meats and vegetables. It's healthy, tastes great, and it's simple to use. It's like having a chef in a bottle.
My seasoning is available at Kroger, Bilo, Food Line, Roots, and Harvest. Look for it on display in the meat department. Also visit seasoningdelight.com for information and recipes. Don's Seasoning Delight. It's so good.
Total Women's Health Care means treating the women physically, emotionally, and everything in between. At Magnolia Medical Women's Center, we treat and diagnose common and unusual medical problems related to female health. Magnolia Medical Center is a premium high-level obstetrics and gynecology clinic for women of all ages. Our clients receive the time they deserve without feeling rushed and unimportant. We are located in the Aiken Medical Center, 410 University Parkway in Aiken, Suite 2300. Call us today at 803-649-6366.
Next time on Education Matters, I'll introduce you to several young males who will show you the real face of the African American male. These are young men who have just recently been awarded the Alpha Phi Alpha Scholarship. You don't want to miss these young men who are smart, who are athletic, and ready to do great things in our communities. That's Education Matters with Donna Moore Wesby, me, right here on ASTV, Channel 95.
Does your child or grandchild need help in reading or math, or can benefit from preparatory coursework for the HSAP, ACT, or SAT? If so, contact the Barner Group Educational Associates. Our staff specializes in formatting an individualized approach to assisting your child academically. We offer low-cost tutorial services and educational programs. Participants may qualify for free services. To learn more, call for Alicia Cuthbertson of the Barner Group Educational Associates, 1-888-TBG-3996.
Tired of hearing automated answering services when you have questions about auto, home, renters, motorcycle, or life insurance? Call the Bryant Insurance Agency, where you will always receive a representative ready to answer your questions and provide friendly customer service just for you. Call today for a quick quote at 803-642-8505 or visit us at 909 Daughtery Road in Aiken. Takia and her staff are ready to serve you.
Welcome back inside of the broadcast. Just prior to hearing from our sponsors, I presented a scenario to my guest here today, Mr. Tony Williams, about a possible point of contention that some may have with their ability to work and actually have gainful employment while also drawing benefits, that it could be sort of deemed as a takeaway. Address that for me.
Sure. With the law, one of the things Social Security is trying to do is get to a point where your earnings really won't matter.
Okay.
But that's going to take some time to get to that point.
Okay.
But there is some good news about working and receiving benefits.
Mm-hmm.
If you are working and we reduce your benefit for any month because of work, we will apply that back towards your benefit amount once you reach your full retirement age.
Okay.
And so it becomes more of an incentive in a way because you can earn the extra money that you need
Mm-hmm.
while getting your Social Security. It may be reduced a few months, but you'll get it back
Okay.
once you reach your full retirement age.
Okay, good. We do have a question that came in by text. It says, I will be 64 in May, drawing Social Security and working. When will I become eligible to work and not worry about going over the limit of benefit? Let's see. Yeah, and this person was born in 1948.
1940, I'm going to have to go
You
back
wanna
and see when their full
let's
retirement.
go back to that particular slide. Great question. I will be 64 in May, drawing Social Security and working. When will I become eligible to work and not worry about going over the limit of benefit? Well, an easy solution would be just to not work. But anyway, it may not be enough, right, for these days. Mr. Williams?
Her full retirement age is 66.
Okay.
And so the year in which she turned 66, so January of that year,
Okay.
She can earn $38,880 without any type of penalties or reductions.
Okay.
Now, on the month of her birthday, she can earn as much as she wants without any type of penalty. So she go out and start a business or get this great job earning
Mm-hmm.
lots of money. It will not affect her benefit.
Are you saying just for that month?
From that month
From
on.
that on, okay.
Yeah, from that month on, she
Okay.
can earn as much as she wants.
All right. Thank you for watching, and hopefully that answers your particular question. Again, if you have a question or comment regarding today's topic, feel free to give us a call on 803-644-2357 or text, technology is amazing, on 803-507-6793. We'll turn it back over to Mr. Tony Williams as he continues his presentation today.
All right, thank you.
Okay?
Now, one of the things you will need, or a few things you'll need when you apply for your benefit, of course, your Social Security number, and also we may ask for your birth certificate, but only if the birth date that you provide to us is different from what we have in our system.
Okay.
And if that's the case, then we will ask for a birth certificate or a certified copy. You'll also need bank information. Starting March 1st of 2013, direct deposit is mandatory for all beneficiaries.
So that means they will have to have some type of checking or savings account.
That's correct.
Okay.
But if you don't have a bank account, we do have something called Direct Express. Basically, it's an ATM card that we will apply your benefit towards or on, and you can every month take it out of an ATM
Okay.
banking system.
That's good. That's good. All right.
We also will need to see your marriage certificates, divorce decrees, and if you were in the military or railroad, we will also need to have certificate of that.
Woo, basically everything in order to get that money.
Yeah, basically, it matters, especially with military. There may be additional credits you can receive based on when
Okay.
you serve. And if you work for the railroad, they may have jurisdiction over your benefits. So that's why we ask for those that kind of information.
Now, this next question, it may not be one that you can answer, but in your office at the Social Security Administration, and certainly as your role as being a public affairs specialist, you may get this question all the time. Is Social Security in jeopardy in our recent years
Well,
to come?
Of course, we hear that quite a bit. Social Security, there's going to be some adjustments that need to be made, but we're confident that those adjustments will be made. So we have to kind of wait and see what Congress does, but we feel extremely confident that it'll be here for a long, long time.
That sounds like a very politically correct response. That's good. You might need to run for office. That's pretty good.
I don't know about that, so.
Okay, no, I'm just joking. That was good. All right, let's continue.
Now we're going to talk about survivor benefits, which is one of the most important programs I think Social Security offers.
Yeah.
Especially for women. We were talking about women
Right.
earlier. Now, if unfortunately, if someone passes away, and especially if they are a breadwinner in your home, then your child may be eligible for benefits. Of course, again, they must not be married and under the age of 18 or not married and disabled before age 22. Now, as a spouse, you can also apply for the widow or widower's benefit. You can file as early as age 60 or 50 if you're disabled. You must not be remarried prior to age 60. That creates a little bit of a confusion there, but that's one of the requirements. But if you remarry after age 60, then it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So kind of one of those strange things. So, but you can file at any age if you're caring for a child under the age of 16. And again, if you're a divorced widow or widower, you have to meet that 10-year marriage requirement, and you can also file for benefits.
Okay. I have some comments I can make about but I won't, regarding the family life situation that these kinds of rules tend to seem as if they're promoting, but I'll let you off the hook today because you're just the messenger.
Right.
Okay, next.
Another benefit that we also offer in death situation is the lump sum death payment. It's a one-time payment of $255, and that's paid to the living with spouse or children under the age of 18.
Okay. Now, would those people who claim to be children of the deceased have to have some type of documents proving they are who they say they are?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, the main document would be the birth certificate.
Okay.
If they don't have that, then there's other courses we can take in order to determine if they were the child or not.
Okay.
But the main one is the birth certificate.
Okay.
Now, Social Security also offers disability benefits. And in order to receive disability benefits, you must be a worker and must have paid into Social Security 5 of the last 10 years. Social Security disability also is available for younger people. If you're under the age of 31, you must have worked half of the time between age 21 and 31. So that gets a little confusing, but we have representatives that'll be able to walk you through that process.
Okay.
Spouse benefits are basically the same as it is for retirement. Again, being age 62, you can file at any age if you have a child in care under the age of 16. And again, divorced spouses are able to file on a disabled worker's record if they were married more than 10 years.
Okay. Now, and we're only halfway through the presentation, and there are just so many questions, so many ways for people to get confused with the information. Is there, when people either start receiving Social Security benefits or think they are going to start, is there one individual, a representative from the Social Security Administration, who's assigned to an individual's case, or is each person who works with the public able to, anybody able to help with their particular case?
Well, we have different branches of what I call service.
Okay.
We have service representatives, and they basically deal with people coming into the office for Social Security cards and things of that nature.
Okay.
And then we also have claim representatives, and they take the actual claims and adjudicate the claims.
Okay.
So they'll work with that individual.
Adjudicate. I have to use that as a word of the week.
Right.
Okay.
And they'll work with that individual until the claim is paid in full,
Okay.
Or in a payment process, and then they move on to the next person. So,
Okay. All
that's
right.
basically how it
So
works.
different branches of service. I've got another question, but I'm going to hold it till we get through some
Okay.
more of the information. Okay.
Now, Social Security also offers Medicare, and in order to be eligible for Medicare, you have to be 65 years or older. And one of the things I want to stress here is that you don't have to file for your retirement benefit in order to receive your Medicare. You can apply for Medicare only benefits once you reach age 65.
Now, I'm going to show my ignorance here, because I really don't know the difference. What is the difference between Medicare and Medicaid, and actually what is Medicare, and how would someone know that this is a benefit for them?
Right, Medicare is distributed through the federal government.
Okay.
And it generally pays about 80% of your medical bills.
Okay.
And we'll talk a little bit more about Medicare and break that down for you.
Okay.
Medicaid is a state program. And so, and Medicaid is some people consider gold because they pay more of the services than Medicare does.
And it's still
but
tied to your health expenses, health-related expenses?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But Medicaid is a state program. Medicare is a federal program.
Okay. All
so
right.
that's the difference.
Okay. Very good.
You can also receive Medicare if you are disabled and been on disability for 2 years, then that makes you eligible for Medicare. If you have Lou Gehrig's disease, and that's that amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also makes you eligible for Medicare. Or if you have permanent kidney failure, then you're eligible for Medicare.
All right, let's stay on that. 65 and older, or 24 months after entitlement to Social Security benefit.
Disability.
So, okay, disability. So basically, am I understanding that you you almost have to be on your last leg to get Medicare benefits? Is that a good interpretation?
Well, especially with the disability, I think that's difficult because someone is in a situation where they can't work, and of course, most likely they don't have medical insurance. So that's a tough one. And so, but Medicare is one of those programs which you pay into, and Congress has decided that 65 is the proper age for that to start.
Now, is it through the Social Security Administration who investigates fraud, Medicare fraud, and things of that nature? Would that come out of the Social Security Administration's office?
Well, we play a role in that as well.
Okay.
But Medicare has its own office as well, too. So we both would work in that sense to try to prevent any fraud.
Okay. All right.
Now, with Medicare, there are several different parts, and we have Medicare Part A, which is your hospital insurance. Now, Medicare Part A is free, and so again, when we were talking earlier about not applying for your retirement benefit, you still want to go ahead and apply for your Medicare Part A if you're not ready to receive your benefit amount yet. We also have Medicare Part B, which is the medical insurance. Now, there's a premium with Medicare Part B, and that's $99.90 per month. And then we also have Medicare Part D, which is the prescription drug plan, and it covers a major portion of your prescription drug costs for Medicare beneficiaries. And the enrollment period for Medicare Part B is October 15th through December 7th.
All right. Now, as we're talking through this information, it's obvious to me that this is data, facts that adults definitely want to know. Why is this also important information for our young adults and our youth to understand?
Well, one day we will be at this point. When I say we, I guess I'm a little older than youth.
Hold on to it as long as you
right.
can, Tony.
But of course, we'll all get to that point someday, and so it does become very important that they understand what they'll be eligible for when they meet those types of dates.
Okay, excellent. We have a caller. Caller, you're live on the air inside of Education Matters. You have a question or comment today?
Yes. I'm listening to your show and I miss the Medicare benefit age. How old do you have to be to apply for Medicare?
It's at the age of 65.
65?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for your call. Bye-bye. All right. And just to, if you would, just in case, repeat the question and the answer, Mr. Tony?
Sure. The caller called to ask about what age can she first apply for Medicare. And again, that age is at the age, it's 65, and that's the earliest you can apply for Medicare benefits.
Okay, all right, very good. And we're moving on to the next.
Okay. Now, there's 3 different enrollment periods in which you can file for your Medicare. The first is the initial enrollment period. And again, that's 3 months prior to age 65, your 65th birthday, and then 3 months after age 65, and that's considered your initial enrollment period. We also have what we call a special enrollment period, and we use this in case you are working and you have full or group health insurance. And so if you have group health insurance, you really don't need the Medicare Part B, but we definitely encourage you to talk to your human resources prior to making that decision.
Okay.
But with the special enrollment period, once your health insurance ends, you have 8 months to come in and file for your benefit for your Medicare Part B.
Okay. All right.
And the third enrollment period is the general enrollment period, which is every January through March, and your Medicare will start July of that year.
And before we go to the break, this is another reason why we wanted to have you on the broadcast at this time, because that enrollment period, the deadline for that is the end of March, correct?
That is correct.
All right, so you definitely going to want to get jumping on that. It's a very interesting topic today. I hope you're jotting down the information. But the good news is that this presentation will be on the internet, all right? You're inside of Education Matters. We'll be right back.
If you are interested in becoming an individual or corporate sponsor of Education Matters or to receive sponsorship information, call Donna Moore Wesby at 803-507-6793 or send an email to dwesby@edmath.com.
Does your child or grandchild need help in reading or math, or can benefit from preparatory coursework for the HSAP, ACT, or SAT? If so, contact the Barner Group Educational Associates. Our staff specializes in formatting an individualized approach to assisting your child academically. We offer low-cost tutorial services and educational programs. Participants may qualify for free services. To learn more, call for Alicia Cuthbertson of the Barner Group Educational Associates, 1-888-TBG-3996.
The Will Gray Opportunity School has been serving the beautiful Midlands of South Carolina since 1921. Our mission has evolved over the years, and we now specialize in helping young people move past their obstacles in order to achieve success. We give students opportunities to lead, to develop social skills, to become active in their communities, and to taste success. Don't settle for less than the absolute best for your life. Contact us today to take the next step in your journey toward success.
busy life, but I still have to make sure my family eats right. And everybody loves Dawn's Seasoning Delight. I use Dawn's on meats and vegetables. It's healthy, tastes great, and it's simple to use. It's like having a chef in a bottle.
My seasoning is available at Kroger, Buy Low, Food Line Reads and Harvest. Look for it on display in the meat department. Also visit seasoningdelight.com for information and recipes. Don's Seasoning Delight. It's so good.
Welcome back inside the live broadcast. You gotta love live TV. All right, we only have a few more minutes, but let me go ahead and tell you, I will put Mr. Tony Williams' entire presentation on my website, edmat.com. I'll have it up, posted no later than 11 p.m. tonight. So we've not been able to go through the entire presentation, but you'll be able to access that information on edmat.com. When we were listening to our sponsors, Tony, we did receive another question. If you could please explain disability. When people say they're on disability, what does that actually mean?
Disability is a program in which Social Security offers, and the basic definition that we use is that that you have an injury or illness that will keep you out of work for a year, or that it may cause death. And so Social Security offers this program, but you have to be approved for it.
Okay.
And so sometimes that can be difficult.
Okay.
But we do offer other avenues. For instance, if your initial claim was denied, then you can file an appeal. And there's two levels of an appeal. There's the reconsideration, and then there's the hearing. So if you are filing for disability, definitely be knowledgeable about the appeals process, because it can help you receiving the benefit.
Are there user-friendly aspects of all of this? Because, you know, I'm coming from an education standpoint, and I know there are many people, particularly those older individuals, senior citizens who are illiterate, they cannot read, are not technologically savvy, you know, able to be fluent with the computer. And so a lot of the lingo we're talking about today, the technology is all infused in this process.
Right.
What makes this user-friendly so people can really understand what's going on and then enjoy the benefits?
Right. Very good question. I think our employees do. So if you were to walk into the office,
Okay.
Our employees are well trained, and they can walk you through the process.
Okay.
And then they'll also take time to determine what benefits you're eligible for.
Okay.
And so definitely take advantage of those services.
Okay, in the last few moments we have, you wanted to definitely cover a couple of items.
Sure.
Okay.
The last few things I want to cover, one is the Supplemental Security Income Program, which is called SSI. And you can be eligible for SSI if you are age 65 or older, blind at any age, or disabled at any age. Now, in order to receive SSI, your income and resources are considered, and you must have limited income or resources. For example, with resources, the limit is $2,000, but we do not count your main home or your main car towards that resource.
All right, good.
And the other thing that we really want to promote is our online services. And we were talking earlier about disability, Medicare, retirement, all of those things you can apply online, and it's fairly easy. So if you don't like spending long hours or long time periods at the office.
Not that it takes hours in your office, right? No, just, yeah, okay, no, we're not saying that.
we can get pretty busy.
Oh,
so,
okay, okay.
And so this can alleviate some of that time. Also, even just calling on the phone. So you can go online and apply for your retirement, Medicare, disability, even apply for your extra help online through www.socialsecurity.gov.
And I want to say, too, just a plug for the online services, I finally changed my name.
Okay,
from my maiden name to my married name. I finally says my husband was very
I'm sure he appreciates that.
Appreciative of that. But I was able to use the online system to apply, if I'm not mistaken, for my new card, and it was a very smooth process. So,
Great.
so kudos to the Social Security office for that. Let's go to the very last slide and again show your contact information and the website. The very last slide.
Now, just staying on this slide for one more minute. Again, if you're receiving benefits, you can still go to our website and, for instance, change your address, apply for a replacement Medicare card. Then also, if you need to change your direct deposit, then you're able to do that as well. And again, you can contact Social Security by calling 1-800-772-1213.
Okay, all right.
And you'll be able to get service, or you can always contact the local Social Security office.
Okay, all right. We're noticing that the very last slide did not show up, but don't worry about it. Again, the entire presentation will be on my website, edmat.com. Mr. Williams,
Great.
Thanks so much for being with us today. We sure hope that we helped somebody out there today. Again, go to my website, edmat.com. My name is Donna Moore Westby, your host of Education Matters, where we're connecting you to the world of education one step at a time. Have a great day.
If you are interested in becoming an individual or corporate sponsor of Education Matters or to receive sponsorship information, call Donna Moore Westby at 803-507-6793 or send an email to dwesby@edmat.com.